What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time that I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out and leave a comment, leave a like. Before we get into it, let me give a shout out to my boy Figs. He has a channel called Food and Felons, where he goes around and does food reviews, oftentimes with celebrities. He just dropped one earlier today where he did a food review with Mozzie. The rapper Mozzie is cool. Y'all go check it out for me, man. Check out my boy Figs on Food and Felons YouTube. He has a YouTube channel called Food and Felons. Just did a video with Mozzie, dropped it this morning. They clowning. They having a ball. And he has a good channel. I did a few review with him, but YouTube didn't approve it because we was like at a certain shop. They had popcorn like made out of, that Mary Jane. And we were showing some of the stuff on camera, so they didn't approve the video or something, so it wasn't dropped. But I did a video with him as well. He has a good channel, so y'all go check out some of his content and check out the video that he did today. Also, that he did today with Mozzie. Also, I'll be back today with the story about Big U. Big U is now defending himself against allegations that he was involved in Nipsey Hussle's unaliving. He just dropped some content where he's defending himself. However, Charleston White and others are blatantly pointing a finger at Big U. Are these dudes snitching on him? Are they trying to get him locked up? They're on the internet saying that he is responsible. It's crazy. I have to get into it. I'll get into it later today. And this story here, takes us to High Desert State Prison, the most violent prison in the state of California, for sure. Calipatria, Pelican Bay are also very violent. Hell, every prison is violent, but High Desert was exceptionally violent. And there in High Desert, the Nortenos and the SouthSiders coexisted. I don't know how long they had been on the yard coexisting together. It hadn't been too long. High Desert was not that old when I was there, when I had first got there in 1999. But when I got to the 180 yard, C yard, I see that the Nortenos and the SouthSiders were coexisting and doing very well together. There cannot be much beef on a yard like that because it's going to be a war. It's not going to be a head-up fight. It's not going to be a pack-out. Those sort of enemies, that sort of opposition, Nortenos and SouthSiders, if they get into it, it's going to be an all-out war, sort of like what just happened in Nevada State Prison with the 3 whites being unalived. It's going to be something vicious like that. So for the most part, they were always able to keep the peace. In comes a Norteno who had somewhat of a chip on his shoulder. He did not like SouthSiders, and he let that be known a couple of times. He was walking on the yard, and that sort of mean mugged them. None of this had been going on with the Nortenos and the SouthSiders before. They were getting along and respecting each other because at the end of the day, respect is everything in prison. It is the first thing that you must do and understand and realize if you want to save your ass, is that you have to respect everyone in there. It is monumental. It is colossal. Respecting everyone. And the moment that you do not grasp this, you could possibly lose your life. Even for a minor disrespect, a minor infraction, a minor offense against someone personally, where disrespect is involved, there will be hell to pay in prison. And isn't it the same here on the street? Shouldn't you respect everyone, whether it be a homeless person that you see on the street because you're no better than him, or whether it be a billionaire because he's no better than you, Shouldn't you show the billionaire the same respect that you show the homeless person? Shouldn't you show that homeless person the same respect that you'll show that billionaire? What's the difference? Money. That's it. Respect everyone. You don't know who people are, and you don't know what they're going through. Everyone has a story, and even the rich and wealthy have been through something. We all have. So don't judge, have mannerisms, and show respect in prison and outside of prison if you want to live a long life. And here, that Norteno apparently had not grasped that concept, because he's mean mugging the SouthSiders and letting it be known that he doesn't really like them. At one point, one of the SouthSiders, who was also, he was one of their hitters, one of their riders, a hothead if you want to call him that, approached the Norteno in the day room and asked him, what's going on with the mean mugging? What is this all about? We're all coexisting and getting along on this yard. We don't have to. We can tear this motherfucker up and go to war. The Norteno responded that he did not like the SouthSiders. Didn't really want to be on the yard coexisting with them. However, the politics dictated that he do so and be respectful, but he doesn't have to like it. The SouthSider was not happy with that response. Took it to his people, who then took it to the Nortenos and let the Nortenos know that this Norteno in particular is going to be a problem if you don't remove him. He is an existential threat and an imminent threat to our way of life, our way of programming here on the yard. It's not that the SouthSiders were worried about him personally as a threat. They just felt like he was about to disrupt and interrupt the program, and that's how you Nortenos want it, and so be it. But y'all might want to just get him off the yard to avoid all of that. I talked to a Norteno, a partner of mine, I won't mention his name, who was next door to me in the hole when I was going through all that conspiracy shit against the police. And I was in the hole for years, in the shoe. And he had explained the situation to me. He was on the yard with me when that shit had transpired between the Nortenos and the SouthSiders. And he just explained that when the SouthSiders had brought that to the Nortenos, they had a decision to make. Do they go to war with the SouthSiders over this dude, or do they remove him from the yard? The higher-ups, whoever makes the decisions, had decided that it was best to remove the Norteno from the yard. Now, that is not because they were scared of the SouthSiders. Nothing in the Nortenos' demeanor there in High Desert suggests to me that they were scared to go to war with anyone. No group was. No group was scared of any other group. They were all extremely strong, like I've never seen in any other prison. Every group, the SouthSiders, I've said it before, the whites, the Nortenos, and the blacks were all strong. The Nortenos were structured and had implemented and exercised, since I had been there, many vicious, bloody removals. They were unafraid. That was not the issue. They didn't say we were going to remove him because we don't want to go to war with the SouthSiders. They would have been ready to go to war. Take my word for it. It's just about respect. And if you want your section and your faction and your car to be seen as worthy of respect, then you have to exercise these removals. You cannot show favoritism. You want people to look at you and look at your section and look at your car and say, they don't play, bro. They strong. They take care of business. They don't play inside their car or outside of their car. They take care of business, because if you don't have that sort of respect, everyone will be stomping on you in there. So you have to garner and cultivate that sort of respect by taking care of business. So it was even bigger than the SouthSiders. It was their name on the line as far as they were concerned. That's really why the decision had been made. And it was made to remove him from the yard for these very reasons. A couple of days later or so, wasn't long, we were all out there on the yard, and all eyes were on the target. We all knew that he was indeed a target, and that he was about to be removed from the yard, and we all knew why. As I said, word travels fast there in prison. So we're all watching, not noticeably, but all eyes are on the situation. Just about 3 minutes into the yard, after they had released all of the buildings and everyone was out there comfortably and began to walk their laps and do their exercises, the target was over there where the Nortenos hang out with a few Nortenos. And we all saw some other Nortenos coming around the track, stealthily, looking sinister. I knew then they would be the culprits. And so I kept my eyes on them. And I'm watching as I'm doing my exercise. And about 4 Nortenos creep up behind the target, whip out weapons, and begin to viciously, mercilessly stab him about the neck area. It was ugly. It was vicious. And they didn't stop. They kept stabbing him in the chest, around the chest, the shoulders. It was like 4 of them on him. And he didn't have a chance. He was just flailing his hands up, throwing his hands up for a minute. Then he just got out on the ground trying to protect himself, like got in a fetal position, trying to protect his organs, his vitals. But they were relentless in their attack. They wanted to send a message to him and everyone on the yard that should you transgress against any rule or protocol, this will be the outcome. Also, my partner had told me that the Nortenos had first talked to this Norteno, and they did tell him not to disrespect the SouthSiders, to get his shit together, that he doesn't have to like them, but he has to live with them and coexist. They all do. We're sure the SouthSiders don't like you either, but they're not displaying that and exhibiting that. They're not disrespecting you. And you are. And you're going to cause a monumental problem. So cease with that sort of behavior. And he made it be known to the Nortenos that he would chill. However, it is true, he does not like the SouthSiders. And as long as they don't say nothing to him, then he won't say nothing to them. It was that sort of response. They did not like that. The Nortenos told me, my boy told me, they didn't like that. They didn't like his response at all. And they felt like, just like the SouthSiders did, this dude indeed is about to be a problem. It's best to remove him like the SouthSiders suggested. But they did give him an opportunity. They talked to him first and told him to divest himself of that anger and disdain that he has for the SouthSiders. At least divest himself of the proclivity to show this disdain. If you have it, keep it bottled up. Because on this yard, you're going to have to show a lot of respect to everyone. And the minute that you don't, in high desert, on C yard, lower yard, or upper yard, or D yard in high desert, where many unalivings were taking place, oftentimes it was due to disrespect by one person shown to another. And it ended his life. Because again, in prison, respect is everything. Not only is it everything, it's the only thing. And that's what happened with the Norteno there. They crept up behind him and viciously attacked him and assaulted him. They said, get down on the yard, and we all got down, but the Nortenos did not get down for some time. They had to come and render medical attention, and the dude down there was a bloody mess. The message had been sent loud and clear that should you hit the yard and transgress and tried to disrupt their way of living, they were coexisting on the yard. They were getting along. Even if some of them didn't like each other, secretly they were getting along and showing each other respect. Outwardly, that's what you have to do. In a minute that you let your inner feelings show themselves and they are negative towards an opposition or another race or another faction like the SouthSiders, then you're asking for trouble. That's just word to the wise. Respect everyone and you'll come out okay. That's for everyone. Respect everyone at all times. How you doing, man? How you doing, brother? All right. Put a smile on you. How you doing, ma'am? Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, brother. That's for everyone, man, because you don't know what that person is going through that day. That's it. He wasn't showing that respect necessarily to the SouthSiders. They didn't like that, bro. They took umbrage to it. I understand. And they took it to the Nortenos and let them know to just get rid of this dude. We're not threatening y'all, but we're just saying he's about to fuck up everything we got going. Get rid of this dude, man. We just telling y'all need to get rid of him. Because if not, then yeah, possibly it's going to be a war. Because this dude, if he disrespects us again, we going up. Period. And Nortenos decided to remove him, and they removed him, and they was vicious. And that was that. And as I said, I'll be back. In the meantime, stay free, people.